Illustrated join me now here on the sidelines. Guys, we were just joking, but really, we're serious. A windy day today. The field, not the best. If you know Pittsburgh, this field gets torn up. Not a great day for the kicking game if you're Notre Dame. Let's start there.
Not a great day for the kicking game for Notre Dame most of this season, or at least of late. It's a do-no-harm situation, I think, for Eric Schmidt if you make all of your extra points. If you make perhaps the one field goal that is inside 39, 40 yards, Notre Dame hasn't hit one outside 40 yards this year. One field goal and all the extra points, no kickoffs out of bounds. It's do no harm for Notre Dame's kicking game, I think, through regular season's end.
Pete, I mean, is Eric Schmidt the guy, the go-to guy now the rest of the season, or is he switching guys out if they make to the playoffs?
Well, if Noah Burnett gets healthy, then you have to go back to Noah Burnett. That's why you brought him in from North Carolina. But it's been such this ongoing injury where, we've seen these kinds of, Mitch Jeter last year, he was hurt essentially for 2 straight months, and then boom, he hits that field goal right at the halftime before Indiana or against Indiana, and then you're good to go. So I think the ideal situation is you have Noah Burnett in December, and Eric Schmidt can help get you there.
We've heard the chatter all week long. Let's put Narduzzi comments to the side for just a moment. But we've heard the chatter about Notre Dame joining a conference because they're mucking things up with the college football playoff. The rankings as they stand now, are they true to form? Do we think Notre Dame is getting the better end of this?
I think that they're fairly ranked today. By the end of tonight, it might, if they win tonight or today, but then you've got results in the SEC that if you're a Notre Dame fan, you want to see, does Alabama and Georgia win? If those 2 SEC teams win, then Texas and Oklahoma essentially are out. Notre Dame's in great shape there, maybe even to host. I feel like that's still a bit of a stretch, but I think Notre Dame at 9 right now. If I had to place a bet on where they finished in, first weekend of December, I think number 9 is probably where they end up.
But it's a tougher path then. You got on the road in Eugene and then maybe the Rose Bowl against Ohio State.
Well, you get no breaks at number 9 because you're on the road and you have the 1 seed. The break is 7 or 10. Now, the only way to get to 7 or 10 is, as Pete said, you got to get Texas and Oklahoma eliminated because you don't want more teams jumping you. Louisville cannot jump them now. Teams, everybody behind them, you got to assume someone like Georgia Tech's not going to make its way up there. But if it gets all mucked up with Oklahoma and Texas winning, that's a big problem for Notre Dame. If only one of them wins, I think things can still work out. But you're certainly not hosting a home game if you throw Texas in the mix along with Georgia and Alabama. They're not falling behind Notre Dame unless something goes wrong at the end of the year.
Yeah, first things first, get by Pitt. They've been on a roll. The freshman quarterback coming in and doing a number. But really, how good, I think, these fans here, a sold-out stadium. Last time, somebody from the organization told us there was 10,000 fans here last time. There's 60,000, 70,000 here today. How good really is Pitt?
That's a great question. We're going to find out because they just haven't been tested like Notre Dame is going to test them. Notre Dame's pass rush critical today. I think that it's an interesting dynamic coming off the Navy game where you're playing a funky defense,
right.
A lot of 4-3. Christian Gray's not out there. Now you're nickel, you're dime, because Pitt really likes to spread you out. So it's going to have to be a quick adjustment. Sort of the getting up to speed for a pass-first offense is going to be critical for Notre Dame today.
It's a strange situation playing Pitt. They're setting up the pass with the run. Desmond Reed is back. He was a preseason All-American. We're told this is the healthiest he's been since October when he kind of shredded Florida State. But Notre Dame defensively against the run this year, other than a couple quarterback escapes, they don't give runs up over 12 yards. And Pitt is the same thing. Now, I think Notre Dame can hold true to form to that. Pitt's going to stuff Notre Dame's run quite a bit. However, when they don't, Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price are going to have a lot of room, and that's not something Pitt has given up. I think it happens at least once from both of them today.
Well, the linebackers for Pitt are, they're healthy.
Yes.
And, they're fast. Those 3 guys in the middle can create some havoc and roadblocks for Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. But let's talk about that Notre Dame offense. We've seen it before. You stack the box, and you're going to make number 13 beat you. Tom Brady said this week he's comparing him a little bit to Joe Burrow. Now, listen, that's high praise for a freshman starter, but, to have these type of games where you go in and have a chance at a national championship, he is going to have to play good football. And you come on the road in an NFL stadium, you're going to have to beat some teams with that throwing game. Does he do it again today?
I think he does. We were looking – I think it would be a season high for completion, season high for attempts for C.J. Carr today. 35 attempts. And it's kind of incumbent on Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator, let C.J. Carr cook. Let him go out there and be this guy that Tom Brady thinks is a future pro. So that is critical today. That's like trust Carr to win the game because I think he's good enough to do it, and the matchups will be there today.
And I think that includes in some certain situations goal-to-go issues that Notre Dame has had. Sometimes when you're going for it on 3rd and 1, you know you're going to go for it. If you don't get it on 4th and 1, maybe 3rd and down is a shot downfield, because if it's tough sledding against Pitt running the ball. If you get it on 3rd and 1, you still probably have to drive 50 more yards. So sometimes that shot in a running situation is a way to trust C.J. Carr.
You guys think, I was hearing the podcast this week, and you think it's going to be a little tighter of a game, maybe not as high scoring for Notre Dame, maybe a grinded out situation?
I could see it kind of a game where it breaks open in the 3rd quarter. I think at halftime, Notre Dame fans could be very annoyed and frustrated on their couch at home, and by the end of the 3rd quarter, you're just like, what was the problem? So I think it will be – and Notre Dame's played games like that. I mean, NC State was tight at half. Boise State was not super clean in the beginning. And Notre Dame has a way of blowing it open in the second half. I think that's kind of how the dynamics today are going to go too.
Pitt gets down to the red zone a lot, but they don't score touchdowns. Well, today they're also missing their stand-up freshman kicker, Trey Butkowski. That hurts them. They're high red zone visits, low red zone touchdown percentage. So if Notre Dame can keep them empty in the red zone, I think that's huge going into this contest.
Well, there's nothing more than I want to see of the combination of Jeremiah Love getting his touches for the Heisman Trophy as he's making that push and a Notre Dame blowout win. We'll just take a Notre Dame win for now. It keeps the season going. Guys, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks,
Pete Sampson, Tim O'Malley joining us here on ABC 57 Kickoff. We'll be right back with X Factors and final predictions and the start of Notre Dame and Pitt.